Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. It's been a minute since we last played some Legend of Elements. In fact, I think it's been, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks since I last posted a video. And in the meantime, well, I've been taking a little bit of a break from the game, so my progress hasn't really been anything spectacular. To be honest, I haven't really even gotten to, I think it's Exalted. We are just about to get there, right? We might even do it here in this video. We are going to be getting it, of course. We are pretty much just about there, right? So, yep, it is quite a day because we're also going to be talking a little bit about builds and stuff, right? But this is not a guide. I'm not at the point of doing any sort of guides since I've been skipping days in the game, right? And I'm very far behind. I just want to be talking a little bit about the state of the game nowadays as I just go back to it and find what's up with it. Not in a critique way, right? But I do want to point some things that have been done in another game done by the same developers, Legend of Mushroom, which if you guys know my channel, of course, you might know from before already. I covered that game as well. And they have done some very good quality of life updates, which I think they are eventually going to be coming to this game if they haven't already come to it. But they are really looking to, you know, make things just a lot nicer to play through, right? This kind of games, of course, idle games, they have a lot of things and systems to it, right? A lot of clicky red dots. I want to be getting all the red dots like to go out of my screen, right? That's kind of like the daily chore system in these games. And they've done a lot of that in Legend of Mushroom, implementing some functions which kind of just automate a lot of your daily chores, right? So for example, picture it, you are of course every day going to be coming over here to your gameplay section and just getting all the sweeps done on the dungeons, right? Like all the little dungeons which you just like gonna be just getting them done, right? Because there's no more levels to them. At least as far as I know, all the levels here are capped at 100 still. For example, also just like setting up your training grounds, just getting through, finding a free spot and just putting yourself in there and just, you know, getting it done. Stuff like this, which is just like takes a couple seconds usually, but you know, it kind of builds up this just annoyance of having to do a thing over and over, right? For example, just going in here and getting some dungeons done, just like claiming your free stuff over here. You know, there is some gameplay in Legend of Mushroom. There's a lot more gameplay in Legend of Mushroom, which is sweepable. Even though over here, of course, we also have like sweeping sections over, for example, here on the server boss. Once you are like strong enough, you can just like go, of course, to the max boss and just like click on it and then sweep, right? Stuff like this, you know, you can automate that, and that's what's been done in Legend of Mushroom. Now, it's not yet implemented as far as I know in this game, but there's a very likely chance that given that this is a game from the same developers, they are going to be moving in that direction, especially as the game, you know, kind of gets older and older. As it is right now, we do have some new stuff over here. There's been some collaboration events. We have some login rewards, of course, just for like Christmas and stuff, right? So you get some free banners, some free, a little bit of gear, which is nothing crazy, I'm not gonna lie. More resources than gear, of course. Makeup. Can I like pay for those? I guess I can, like 100 Magites, that is quite expensive. I don't have that many. I mean, I do have a few. But anyways, yeah, of course we'd have the usual stuff. We've had a collaboration event not that long ago, actually, maybe a couple weeks ago. It's already been gone. So there's stuff being in this game, happening in this game pretty much just analogous to all the things that have been happening in Legend of Mushroom. Like all the kinds of systems that we had in Legend of Mushroom are here. The menus and all that stuff is very similar. It's pretty much copy and paste. The gameplay itself, not really, you know, but it kind of all boils down to the same system, right? We have your pay-to-win gear, your mounts, your back attachments, your artifacts, and all that stuff. Just combine it very powerfully in a character that's set up in a very certain way, and there you go, you always win, right? That's kind of like the point of this game as well. Now let's real quick go and ascend this character, right? Because I want to be getting my 5th and last spirit, at least as of now. I was still capped to 4, and I know I could have been I think it's Exalted. I could have been there like ages ago, but I haven't for whatever reason, right? So what am I missing for this? Should be there, right? Max breakthrough ready to ascend, so I can just like go over here. I need to reach stage 248, and that's exactly what we're doing right now, just like grinding out the good old just campaign, right? So in the meantime, we might as well just go through some topics, right? So of course, yep, we are going to be getting some extra updates, which I'll probably go through real quick in Discord and just talk about. Now, I don't know what this bug is, but anyways, I did find over at Discord that there has already been server merges starting to happen, and, you know, with any kind of idle game like this, people are just going to be quitting. In fact, I've seen that my guild is now, like, has a lot less people just joining into it on the clan events and stuff, right? So people just stop playing, just like I did for a little while. They'd come back and stuff like that, and servers kind of just die out, right? Like, for example, this haggle price used to be going like to minus 600 every day because people were just logging in. People are just not logging in as much anymore. So server mergers are necessary, but they have the biggest drawback of just like putting all the whales in one basket, and all the clans that just die out, they disappear, and then you gotta join a new one and stuff like that. It kind of kills communities, but it also revitalizes them in some other ways, right? It's just a natural part of playing this sort of games where, you know, there's gonna be new servers every now and then because you need to be making the new player experience consistent, and there's things that need to be unlocked over time and stuff like that. But you also, of course, need to be making the top echelon higher, you know, players have been in the game for the longest time to still be able to find a challenge and a reason to still pay, and just to be able to be constantly beating everybody else, right? That's kind of the point. Pay to win, you're gonna be having somebody else to win against so that you really have a reason to pay. Anyways, yeah, I didn't really find anything too crazy, any changes here still. Yeah, at least just by looking at the game, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Now, one thing that I just realized is that there is the auto plant and harvest feature embedded into the 30-day privilege pass for the garden, which in fact is one of the features that I was talking about, that they just, well, not just, they put the workers in Legend of Mushroom like quite some months ago at this point, right? So if that is the direction that they have taken into this game, that is, you know, quite pay to win, you know what I mean? Like, you can just totally forget about the entire gardening system because, you know, it's done on its own. Now, let's be honest, there's a lot more features that are, you know, there used to be a lot of self-maintenance in Legend of Mushroom that they don't really exist in the same way here in this game, but there is a lot of still like free claim this thing every day, right? And like free spend a bunch of these things every day, like explore this a couple times, right? Things like this that you just like click out of obligation because they are free, right? You just want to be making sure that you get them used up, and then maybe you want to be saving some stuff for later, then at that point, you know, whatever. You can like plan ahead and round and all that, but at least the free stuff that's just like a mandatory click, you want to make sure that you get it done, right? So things like those could still just be totally automated, but the fact that the gardening system, one of the most tedious ones usually, at least back in Legend of Mushroom, has this auto feature already put into it, you know, kind of makes me think that they might not be that keen on going in the direction of the, you know, quality of life aspect to all of this stuff, right? So yeah, I'm not sure what events are live right now, but I'm just gonna be dumping out some stuff because it's been a little while and I don't really have that many resources, right? So I might as well just get it done, you know, a little bit of enjoying the game. So we do also have some spirit summons. We might as well be getting some of those done. There we go. Just like smash this button and we got about 200 summons, so we can just like get some cool stuff now that we're gonna be getting the newer you know, the new guy for our spirit team. And you know, I was thinking, well, maybe there's some bigger things happening in the game since I've been going for a little while, but honestly, not much. Like, for example, all this free stuff, you know, these unnecessary clicks, you could just automate the entire thing, like the entire thing. Now that I've seen the way Legend of Mushroom is just making things a lot easier and a lot more comfortable, I don't know, I just want that for that game, for this game. Like, all these free, just go in here and just claim whatever. What is this? I don't know what this is. Why is it shining? Okay, whatever. Anyways, yeah, all of these things that are just like, I don't want to be logging into this game because I gotta do all these clicks like every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I gotta be going in here and clicking this, and then I gotta be going over here, and then as I do all the quests, I gotta go all the way down here, and then I gotta be clicking all these things. So right, I gotta be claiming all this stuff, and then the pass thing is done. You know, it's just tedious because once you do it once, you know, it's just the same thing over and over and over. All the daily quests, so I'll claim them all up, get the rewards from this, right? It's just free stuff that's kind of like the gameplay loop that we have been pigeonholed into with this idle games. And there's a lot more potential to them, at least going long term, right? At least like in the name of not dropping out of the game because you're just bored out of the mindless daily chores. So yeah, I don't know, I didn't really find any of those features implemented, at least not right now, but it kind of makes sense. The game is pretty new, and of course, if they have some monetizations aspects going into it, right, like we just saw, then that is really discouraging from making things easier for the players if there's a reason to pay for them instead. Now I just realized that there is a new SSR limited edition available to just like put your money into, so we might as well try and get ourselves lucky today here. At least just making sure we do get it, right? So we're gonna be buying some of these things. Now you might have realized I do have some of the R crystals, which you can basically use for just buying yourself, you know, packs which cost real money, right? So I could go over here and buy myself a Gorillion Summons, which is going to be basically costing me everything that I have, right? So let's first of all go ahead here and just make sure that we complete all these quests, which usually by just, you know, finishing up a bunch of these quests, the ones you can get done just by free-to-playing, you're going to be getting a decent amount, you know, a decent chance of at least being able to get yourself one copy of this character, right? So you're gonna be able to get some upgrading tokens, which doesn't really mean that you get the character, right? Some shards and stuff like that. So we do have a few summons still. Now we're able to claim all of this and all of this, and then we are still gonna be having a few summons, but we do not yet have the character, right? So if we now go over here, we're gonna be able to find that. Is it even here in the list? I guess not. Can we go to the gallery maybe? And okay, there we go. So it should be here, right? If I'm not mistaken. It's not added to it, right? So it's not like showing as a shadow, and we're looking at the everything list, but there we go. It's here, right? And it's still like grayed out, so we do not have it. So we're gonna be going right over here and doing a little bit of spending. Might as well do it, right? I do have the crystals for a reason. So we're gonna be buying the biggest pack there is. It's going to be basically not costing me real money because I already have the crystals. Now I do have 150 summons, right? So we're going to be going through them and seeing what we get. And basically we get nothing. We get some extra summons there. We get some extra summons and nothing still. You know, still nothing. Oh, there we go. We got it, right? So that's what you expect. You get the thingy and it just shows. And there we go. We got the limited edition guy. And now we're just going to be able to still get more shards to make sure that we get it to a decent point where it's usable. Now, I don't know if it's even good. I will figure that out in a moment, but at least just make sure that we use all this stuff since we bought it, and we're gonna be able to upgrade this character a little bit extra, you know, to a point where it is decent enough. Not like my Wukong, since I barely put any summons into it, and it's still pretty crappy, even though I'm using it. But now we also have a big bunch of thingies over here. We got the Avatar. I think there's one more, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to be getting us the border, but we don't quite get there yet. We need a few more, which we might be able to sneak out of getting some of these quests done. I'm not going to be paying any more, but now we can go over here. It just automatically promote all this stuff, so we get it all the way up to 13, right? So that's a pretty decent upgrade already. Now let's real quick just go over here, and it should be showing here. There we go. Arabelle, what does it do, right? So we do have over here healing damage boost and reduction, deals 40% attack damage to enemies, deal a big bunch of attack damage to every enemy in a circular area to the front, and then over here, after casting the spirit skill, restore a bunch of HP to the player, increase all damage bonuses by 3.5 when HP drops below 50%, and reduce all incoming damage by 3.5 for 10 seconds. Of course, all those values go up quite a lot as you are leveling up the character, right? So now, is there any recommended builds with this character? At least right now, there is none as far as I can tell, right? If I'm not blind. This should be getting updated real quick, as I am also going to be leveling up right now and getting to Exalted as I am doing the campaign, right? I'm still like getting to 248. There's a lot of levels to go through still. So let's meet up ourselves when we get there. There we go. We finally made it to the stage where we are now able to go to Exalted. It's been quite some time, but I was really far behind, guys. I was just like logging in here and there, getting the rewards for just like the AFKing and then not doing everything, right? It kind of ties down to all that I was saying about all the quality of life features that I would love to have there, but of course they don't really seem to be coming anytime soon. But there we go, we got to Exalted. That is quite a big jump. It was a long time coming, but yeah, I mean, now at this point we got a massive upgrade in terms of everything. We got like, I don't know, like 3 billion points overall, just an upgrade over there. And of course there is people already at like, I don't even know, like whatever is after Exalted, which at this point I have no clue. Now we have the 5th slot right here, which we could put something into, and the recommended loadouts, they're not even having to account. Oh no, these ones actually do. They have the 5th one totally unlocked, right? So this build that I was running right here, it was the one that was giving me the best results, so we're going to be building something into it, but that is something that I'll be saving up for another video, as right now I still got to figure out what's a good addition to the setup. For now, I think I might as put in here the new character that we just got. Might as well be a decent try. I don't know, let's just go ahead and see what the points are gonna be like. 1.26 billion upgrade. Of course, that is it's not what you should be looking at, just that number raw. But yeah, we'll be trying some stuff out and eventually coming up with a video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Of course, check it out if you haven't done so yet. It's gonna be, of course, helping out the channel a lot if you do so. Go ahead and use the code to get your purchases done in-game through Aptoide, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the holidays. And that's it for me for now. Bye-bye. Everybody. Excuse me.